I have told this story before. On election night 2008, I was fresh out of seminary and I was looking forward to the good work of ministry. And for those of you who don't know this, in seminary I had an academic emphasis in social transformation. And I was itching to do some good socially transforming work in the world. So there I was, watching Barack Obama get elected the President of the United States of America, and I remember having the thought, oh no, I won't need to do any socially transforming ministry anymore. Okay. You know, I'm pretty prophetic sometimes, but as we all have experienced, I was pretty wrong about that. Now, I don't want to damper any thoughts of relief or happiness about election 2022 and the great state of Nevada. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. But I want to tell you the need for socially transforming ministry in this world is far from over. I've been a change agent my whole life. I basically have a degree in change. And Lord knows, I don't know how much more change I can stand. And yet, as we so often discuss, change is and will be one of the few constants in our lives. And we have talked about it, and we have preached about it, and this monthly worship theme is about it. So I'm not going to talk about it today at all. What I really want to talk about is beauty, hope, and love. Now, some of you may be saying in your head, Reverend David, we've also talked a lot about hope, beauty, and love. And to tell you the truth, I don't always get what you mean by those things. Well, thank you for asking. Let me start with beauty. Beauty isn't just in the eye of the beholder. It's something we feel in our souls. Or in other words, when we see it, feel it, or experience something that's beautiful, it actually can impact our mood, our brain chemistry, the feelings we have in our body, and the thoughts that we think in our minds. I'm not sure what you may find beautiful, but those of you who are my Facebook friends, you know that I find incredible beauty in the experience of autumn. I talk about it, I sing about it, I take and I post lots of pictures about it. I do this because I need it. I need the beauty. I need that beauty, and I experience that beauty. I need that change of brain chemistry after watching the news or listening to an election denier spout lies about election integrity. Seeking out and finding beauty is an important part of being in a spiritual community and an important part of the practice of religion. I don't know if I could survive without an actual practice of seeking out this kind of beauty as a spiritual practice. And frankly, trying to capture it on film, so to speak, and share it with my friends. Beauty helps me to sustain. The search and experience of beauty isn't just a spiritual practice, it's a religious one. It's a religious practice because it isn't just about my need. As we said in the chalice lighting today, beauty reminds me of the glory of this amazing creation in which we live. I often describe the holy as what's in us, what's between us, and what's beyond us or beyond our understanding. The glory of this amazing creation, the beauty that we see in this world, keeping that with us can ground us in that which is bigger than us, that which reminds us so much of what we don't understand, but for which we can be so deeply grateful. Love. Well, what can I say about love that hasn't been written, sung, spoken, felt, and experienced? I don't know completely what love means. In fact, I actually feel a need to shy away from any intellectual exploration of the understanding of love because in some ways, I feel that can actually ruin the experience of it. This I do know. Love is a sacred thing. Love is sort of the connective tissue of the deepest connection in our lives. Love is sought after, desperately needed, and incredibly important to our survival. And I'm not talking about love when it's used like a verb, like the love of power. I'm talking about a simpler, purer form of love, which is the recognition that that which is beautiful and holy in what is between us enables us to see the sacred in the face of another. That's a holy kind of love, a love for which we may need an occasional reminder, a love that fights disconnection and polarization, a love that can find the inherent worth and dignity sometimes in the most difficult of situations, a love that's sorely needed today. If beauty reminds us of what is beyond us, love can be a great reminder of what is between us. And that leaves us with hope. I do not have the audacity to write a book about hope. Did you see what I did there? Audacity, hope, never mind. So let me just say this. I couldn't do this job if I were hopeless. I couldn't be your minister or work for change or believe in our mission or frankly probably function if I were hopeless. Knowing how the changes we have been through in the past decade, past 6 years, 2 years, whatever, have at times left us feeling exhausted or filled with frustration or grief, that have us trying to understand why so many have lied and worked to undermine many of the things that Unitarian Universalists hold as shared values. We need to feel that hope inside, not be lectured to about it, not be convinced of it, but we need to feel it within us. It isn't the grand speeches or the politicians or the elections that went better than we thought. It isn't any of that that gives me hope. It's all of you. It is those in this congregation who volunteer to teach our children. It is the lay leaders so committed to the future of UUCF and Unitarian Universalism. It is the incredible staff that we have who work so hard, not always under the easiest of circumstances, with unbelievable commitment to this congregation, who have heard the word pivot way too many times. It is those who work for Fairfax County and try to make this place a better place to live, not just for some, but for all. It is teachers and healthcare workers and so many others. It is the goodness that I see around me every day, the goodness I try as best I can to live. This is where my hope comes from. And on the hardest days, this is what sustains me. There are so many good people in this world, which gives us hope in troubling times. There is so much beauty in this world, which reminds me of the glory of creation. There's so much love in our lives, which reminds us of our capacity to see the sacred in the other. We have no idea where we will go from here. We worry so. But we also know that hope, beauty, and love will not go away. They will sustain us through our collective efforts. They will continue to impact this world that bends that arc little by little. Ahead of us, there are days of challenges and troubles. Ahead of us, there are days of beauty, love, and hope that will bind us together and collectively keep us moving to whatever comes next. That was true before last Tuesday. That is true today. And that will be true tomorrow. May that be so, and amen.